Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of the Roundup. As you see, we changed up things a little bit. We making it official tissue. You know what I'm saying? I'm your host, Ivy Rivera, and I got my sidekick, my co-host, the one and only Lowkey.
What up? What it do, man? What's poppin'?
He's out here getting them shout outs from Lil Jon and T-Pain. I'm here screen recording like, oh my God, that's my friend.
No, that was a fun night. Shout out to T-Pain, Lil Jon, Swiss Beats, Timbaland for the whole versus battle. Yeah, man, I just made my little playlist, a cheat sheet, and just so happens that Lil Jon was paying attention in front of like 246,000 people, quarter mil. But no, that was love, like, you know. That was a little something like,
you know, the life of Lowkey. Seriously,
I didn't know.
Like not really like matched up to.
Nah, I didn't know. I was shaking when I seen the tweets in the video you sent. So that was a heartwarming feeling during this whole quarantine.
I felt like a proud auntie. I was like,
yeah. Nah, that was love though. So shout out to T-Pain, Lil Jon, and then I know Premier and RZA are going up tomorrow night, Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So that should be.
Oh man.
Gotta make the playlist tonight. So.
That is interesting.
Yeah. RZA and Primo head to head, 20 classics, and we'll see who has the best beats, best songs. The catalog from both of them is insane.
Put the Timbs and your fitters on.
Right.
Put
Backpack.
Chains on.
It's the boom bap era. Like that's
the boom bap era.
We're not playing. Yeah. It's not no top 20 hits. It's top 20 classics. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, let's get to this new hip hop and R&B. Yep. You're leading the brigade today. So who do you have first up on your arsenal of new music?
Okay, so we have, you know, a batch of new releases. I guess I want to start along the whole theme of these battles. Usher, Lil Jon, and Ludacris made a 2020 version of Lovers and Friends. It's called Sex Beat. And I'm gonna just play it.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna just play it. And you know when I say that means
that means you have a lot more to say.
Yes. Let's get into it. Sex Beat is the name of the song.
It's crazy.
It's gonna top the charts, guys.
It's gonna do something. And this was made 2 years ago as well.
This was made 2 years ago. Man, I'll tell you one thing, these battles are encouraging these artists to just bring out some stuff.
Right.
Could have just kept in the arsenal, you know? But what do I know?
Yeah. 808 kick, drum check, shaker, hi-hat, make it clap, kinda sound like sex. 808 kick, drum check, shaker, hi-hat, make it clap, kinda sound like sex. Turn it up loud till I blow my speakers, hit lower than my subwoofers or high as my tweeters. My diva eat you up like you my gourmet chocolate, got divas, coffee got a wetter than Hurricane Katrina. Anything I say, let's do. She with it. You never had orgasms in the double digits. Do the math and I'll do the work. Break it fast and I'll break the curse. Make it last and I'll make it first. And if you make it splash, then I'll make it squirt. She miss that every night. How I lick it, put it down. All I wanna do is live it up. Girl, I'll never let you live it down. So press rewind on that sex beat and just feel all the sensation. Who you know stay in this bedroom but still got the whole block shaking?
Sex beat. I don't know what you stick it as far as you let me. Sex beat. We get in the room and the bass go boom. Something about the way you make me move. Sex beat. When this I don't know what you stick it as far as you let me. Yeah. Sex free. When I kick in the room and the bass go boom, somebody will make me move. This ain't no regular occasion.
I don't think I need to let Usher ride because you already know, in my biased opinion, Usher to this day is still on fire.
That right there is just phenomenal. Does not sound like it was made 2 years ago. I like the description you gave it. Lovers and Friends 2.0. I think Usher is becoming or returning to that Confessions R&B authentic vibe that we know him for. I was on Brian Michael Cox's Instagram Live last night, and he was revealing some details about how this project, his new forthcoming project, Usher's, is like 5 years in the making.
Wow.
So it's a lot of, he said it's a lot of authentic conversations. It's a lot of like authentic experiences, and they're pretty much putting the bottle on top of the, they're putting the cap on top of the bottle, and it's coming very soon. But Brian and Jermaine are heavily influenced. Jonte Austin, heavily influenced with this project, and obviously they're getting a nice little head start with this, sex beat, because those three, Lil Jon, Usher, and Ludacris, cannot fucking miss.
Bruh.
So,
can we
that is a
make
beautiful
like a mention, or like, since you're here and you're like really the, I don't want to say, I don't know, you're like the middleman between these battles. People hit you up to make these battles happen. This is what I'm seeing, right?
See, the
Why
thing
is
is like,
not in a battle?
See, that's the thing. Like, we'll have these conversations on Twitter, right? Like, people be like, "Oh, what about Ja Rule versus 50? Or what about Nelly versus Luda? Or what about such and such, such and such?" I'm just like,
Nelly.
I'm saying what's good and what's not. Like, we get right.
Come on.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
battle.
I'm saying what's good and what's not. I'm not going to these artists and saying like, "Yo, they want you to battle." Like, I'm not involved in the verses at all. The only thing I'm involved in is making these playlists when these battles are announced. It just so happens yesterday, the conversation about Luda versus Busta became so grand, and because they both have an extensive catalog, I was like, okay, this is pretty much, this is fun as fuck to make. So I made the cheat sheet, but now that fucking Lil Jon shouted me out, everybody thinks that I'm connected. So no, I'm not. Yeah. Make this officially clear.
Well, I'm still spreading the rumor.
I just make the playlist because I'm a music connoisseur. I'm a purist. I love, bringing back up old joints. So that's why I do the playlist. I'm not officially a part of the battles.
Okay.
All right. So let me get into my selection. Let me turn on my pill.
Okay.
So Tory Lanez.
Yes.
He has been gaining notoriety during this whole quarantine, not for his music, but for quarantine radio. Quarantine. And he got suspended. Obviously, we know why he got suspended. There was a lot of nudity. So he had a conversation with the head of IG, and this is all from Tory. Tory said that if we had sent them the music, we can get unsuspended. I don't know how true that is. This is coming from Tory himself. Whatever the case is, I don't know if it's a marketing issue, a marketing ploy. Whatever.
Sounds good.
So I say all that to say the new Toronto 3 is out right now, and I chose a track where he's rapping, not singing.
Copy.
Y'all know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
And it's called Stupid Again, and here it goes.
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The devil can't do what the he wants.
About to go stupid again. Shit out the roof of the bench. I'm about to do it again. I'ma fuck two of her friends. Just made a flip out the wall. Fuck the friend Mueller, I jump out the jeweler again. I fuck my money up on the re-up, but I got it right back and I blew it again. Hey, bag full of bricks, back selling nicks like you and again. Trap ain't bump like this is so sick, so much shit start you and again. Clear it out, sticker, air it out. Wear a mouse, I ain't never about to give him fair mouse. I ain't never finna hit him with triple in the double up stash, quarter brick another half, and I got another 20 on the vision. Splash a little flipping in a caddy for the kitchen. I'm a hustle to the car, came with another brick in it. Crib came with another bitch in it. If you ain't getting litty with the shitty, I'ma put another bitch in it. Bitch better hit me with Detroit. And no, I ain't talking about Michigan. Hey. Down.
All right.
Wow.
I'm pretty upset we can't go outside and listen to that.
I was so confused just now because it sounded just like Broken a Minute.
Yeah. That's why I like it, because I don't like his fucking singing, but I like him rapping. But as soon as I played it earlier this morning when it dropped,
I was literally like in my head, like, what does this sound like?
I'm like, okay, that's smart because Broken a Minute is so fucking tough.
Facts.
But then, to your point, you can't distinguish the two. So it's like, how similar do you want to make it? I mean, like I said, I'm a fan of his rapping. It's hard. I gravitated towards it.
I feel like, well, I will say, it was a great record.
Right.
I love when Tory gets in his bag and he talks his shit. Like, I'm just a fan of anybody getting in their bag and talking his shit.
Pretty much.
He threw me off just now. Like, I'm like, you can't come out with Broken a Minute and then come out with Stupid again, and it's literally like the same.
And you know the crazy part about that, Stupid Again is like pretty much, I think it's like the second or third track on the album.
I think he wants us to feel stupid. Because I literally felt stupid. Like, I'm like,
because yeah, like when I first played it,
malfunction.
Yeah, like when I first played it, I'm like,
right.
I'm like, bugging. And then I went to Broken a Minute. I'm like, oh, I'm not bugging. This nigga just thinks we're stupid. But it's hot, so I'm gonna fuck with it. I fuck with it. It's tough.
Tory Lanez, you smart.
He is, bro. I'm not mad at it. But yeah, don't try to play us
like my God. That was funny. Oh, man.
What's your pick?
All right, we're gonna keep this moving with a new Yella Beezy release. I'm a fan of Yella Beezy. Yeah, he's really, really dope. I see a lot happening for him, and he has a new song called Headlock, and it's featured with Young Thug. So let's get into it.
Okay.
I say I want my young nigga shit with this, you feel me? Hey, and I got the streets too. You know?
Blame it on Monster.
I got it. Hey, I got your bitch in the headlock. Bumped on that bitch and I sped out. Hit the gas looking for red dot. Headlock. Kicking bitch shit till my legs lock. What the fuck, nigga, them fed costs. 2 to 3 knock a bitch head off. Headlock. Young nigga around me rogues. You ain't gotta ask some told. Big 4, 5, and 4. Headlock. I bust a nigga head open. Killers on side and scope. And I put the play in my headlock. Hey, you bumpin', I hope that you bought it, nigga. Got all of my little niggas riding, nigga. And your shit, they gon' make you come out it, nigga. Got oozes and choppers, nigga. You cupping that bitch and she garbage, nigga. I shoot her a text, she come swallow, nigga. We ain't worried about him. We ain't worried about shit. He's so tender dick. I can send the players way wide. He's so worried about a bitch. These niggas say they gangsta. Talking rah, but he ain't really murking shit. He ain't really hurting shit. You in the car with him, you gotta be careful, little bitch. It's gon' get hit. He'll be the first one to snitch. He'll be the first one to switch. The first one to bitch. He'll be the first one to trip. Oh shit, now look at this. What happened to the clock? Nigga just bumpin' this block. I swear my little niggas cop. 50 niggas with me got a bunch smoke coming. Hey, I got your bitch in the headlock. Bumped on that bitch and I sped.
So that's Headlock.
Like that.
I haven't heard it yet, but
I like that. That shit is hard. I like that.
Right, I like it too. It's it brings us back. I love the beat.
Yeah, I like the pianos.
Oh yes,
I like the pianos a lot. Ivy, I gotta say this. I gotta say one thing before we move on.
Go ahead.
Your musical taste is very, very impeccable. I gotta just give you your flowers while we're here in this format on this platform. Ivy, you got some. Ivy, you got a good ass there. I will let you know that.
Thank you very much.
And it's not because you played that joint. It's because you smoked me last week. That's why your musical ear is very, very top notch. That's why. You know
what? And I just want to really grab that moment to say that I really work hard to. I mean, I'm not gonna say I want to prove it to anybody.
Right.
But when you have a face of a woman, it's harder to like really like show that you study and do your homework and you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So the fact that you notice that and you're like a huge music connoisseur.
Yeah, I've noticed it, but now I get an up close, front row seat to it, so it's easier for me to speak to it. But yeah, you tap in the R&B, obviously the old, obviously the new, obviously current. But yeah, you have those pockets, and you're very, very good at that. So I really do.
Thanks, Flo. Oh my God.
It's a lot of y'all, it's a lot of y'all, not just you, but, Scotty and Gia and, Olivia Dope and, the list goes on and on, Cleverly.
Shout out to all the women that's tapped in.
Yeah. Like, y'all niggas really, really put on, and we got some competition on our ass. So. All right, let's get out the mushy shit. Let's get back into this music. Are you familiar with Don Toliver?
He is definitely my favorite artist right now. He's amazing.
Don Toliver dropped a new project called Heaven or Hell, I want to say last month. But, this is still a new music show, so we haven't really gotten to a lot of the projects. So
there's so many projects we didn't dive into.
I want to start going back and finding, some gems in these albums. So this is his debut project. He's from Houston. He's under the Cactus Jack Astro World umbrella with Travis Scott. And he was on Astro World. So this is off his debut project, Heaven or Hell. We call this After Party.
Okay, I pull up, hop out of the after party. You and all your friends, say they love to get naughty. Sipping on the heat, I know you love that Bacardi. 1942, I take you back in the ride. Okay, I pull up, hop out of the after party. You and all your friends, say they love to get naughty. Sipping on the heat, I know you love that Bacardi. 1942, I take you back in the ride. Switching lanes and I'm seeing lights, I watch the curse, smoking weed, I'm getting high, it calm my nerves. I bet I'm pumping non-stop, like I had to earn. If you try to my girl again, you never learn. Every one a bottle, I was tripping. Then I took a couple shots and now I'm dancing. They got me burning up, it starts burning up,
All right, that was Don Toliver, After Party.
John, I'm still jamming.
Don is obviously a young kid from Houston, and his energy is pretty much similar, or if not the same as Travis Scott. And being a little bit older than that whole conglomerate, there's certain songs that can get me out of my character of like just to post it up on the wallflower type shit. This is one of those records that I believe that it can be played as the day party is going up. It could be played in that prime section, not specifically in the prime time, but
it could blend in there.
Yeah, but at the tippy top of that prime time section, After Party would be perfectly placed. So I'm very excited about Don Toliver. Unfortunately, we're still stuck aside, so we can't see him tour. But I'm looking forward to more collaborations, remixes, or features, whatever the case is. But yeah, that was my pick, After Party, off of Heaven or Hell. You can stream it anywhere.
Same. I can't wait till he touches New York City.
Yeah.
I would love to see him live. There's a few artists that I just like. I want to see them live. I was actually really upset that I missed Roddy Ricch when he came here.
Oh, me too.
I was hot.
And I had marked that down on my calendar. I forgot why I didn't go. But I saw it. That he was at Terminal 5 or Brooklyn Steel.
Yeah.
Okay. I was tight. I want to see Jesse Reyes.
Oof. That I'm sure will be a show. Like, there's just certain shows, like, not even to compare, but when I think of like a Don Toliver concert, I'm thinking of something like St. John.
Yeah.
And I saw him at Irving Plaza, was it?
Either that or Webster, probably.
The one on like 11th and 3rd.
That's Webster. That's
Webster. Okay.
Yeah, Webster. Crazy.
I've been to many concerts, and that was just different.
Yeah.
That was, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big up Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying?
do
You know how to drop that in there.
do it whenever it's necessary.
Do it whenever it's necessary.
Whenever it's necessary. Go ahead and take care of it.
Oh man. So I want to keep this going, and I want to change up the vibe a little bit with some Pink Sweats.
Oh, okay.
I'm such a fan of Pink Sweats.
All right.
I remember a lot of my artist discovery is through playlists. I'll let a song go, and then it'll go to artists that sound like, and I just go down a rabbit hole. And I remember hearing "I Want You" while I was cooking, and I had to turn back because when he hit that falsetto, I was like, "Who is this?"
It's always the times when you're just randomly doing shit where you discover or hear like your favorite songs, your newly favorite artists, because you're just letting shit play in the background.
Yep, absolutely. And Pink Sweats was one of them.
Good.
He has a new song. It's called "Ride With Me."
Okay.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Let's see it.
Baby, when you say my name, sit back, sip some Chardonnay. That's just how I'm feeling, babe. When you touch me in that way, we gon' dance our life away. Money showers every day. Only do this for you, babe. Can't go half, go all the way. Cause if it ain't love, then it ain't worth it. I just got a whip with the all black seat. I just wanna know that you're by my side. I just wanna know that you're down the slide. Will you ride with me? Oh yeah, yeah. Will you ride with me? Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Will you ride with me? Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I really gotta know. I really wanna know that you need your body every day. On and on, can't take no breaks. Girl, I really love your shape. I might empty out the safe. Diamonds all up on your neck. Look at how my baby shine. Only do this for you, babe. Can't go half, go all the way. Cause if it ain't love, then it ain't worth it. I just got a whip with the all black seat. I just wanna know that you're by my side. I just wanna know that you're down the slide. Will you ride with me? Oh yeah, will you ride with me?
Your heart.
I'll ride, Pink Sweat.
No, that's your heart.
Right?
That's your heart.
I'm a big fan of bass, like the guitar.
Yeah.
So like to hear that groove, it was giving me Khalid vibes as well.
I think from what I've heard from Pink Sweats, and you know, I haven't done too much of a deep dive, but from what I've heard, that is completely different. And it strikes me as he's not contained to one specific pocket. Shut up.
Stay with me.
He's not contained to one specific pocket. And as a new artist, that's very, very important because you don't want to be known like, oh, here come Pink Sweats with the slow, melodic, bass, heavy driven. Oh no, this nigga got an up-tempo two-step type of versatility. So yes, I do like that one right there. All right, let me see. I have a pick from IDK.
Okay.
He had a song off his project called 24, which we played on Beats, all the fucking time. But now he's got a new song called White Tee that just dropped today.
Oh, in my white tee.
No.
I can't help but like
No, I knew you was gonna do that. I knew, I just literally knew that.
Yo, like if you know, you know. You hear
I know, but I was just like, come on, man, don't do it. Come on, don't do it, Ivy. Don't. And you did it.
You know I'm gonna do it.
And you did it. And you freaking did it.
I'm gonna bite the bait.
So I believe IDK is from Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, he has the joint called 24. I'm trying to pull it up right now. And here we go. All right, cool. This is not too much of a lyrical record. It's, one of those radio vibey records, but sprinkled with, the sauce. So here we go. IDK, In My White Tee.
We like sauce.
I love sauce. Let's see if we can get this
This
playing.
sounds awesome.
Shut up.
If she ain't got no, but the face pretty, I'll make an exception. I could be your usher, chilly, catch me when I'm stressing. Attached for the show, silly, you get no exemptions. My taxes is 6 figures, Uncle Sam is tripping. See, back when I was kicked in, I knew that I was different. I knew that I was a pimp. See, before I heard Big Pimpin', like all the free, they try to set me, but I'm gifted. I'm claiming as bad as I come for the top. If I look at them, I get the grinning. Like boom, I got goons in the room. I'm the only civilized one. If I leave you doomed, who say they what? That ain't true. Come between my cash and your, this is my shoe. Yeah, and my white tee. Out here trying to put the red on my white tee. I say be my guest, but success is unlikely. I just took a guess, and I guess they don't like me. I stress they won't try me. Yeah, and my white tee. Out here trying to put the red on my white tee. I say be my guest, but success is unlikely. I just took a guess, and I guess they don't like me. I stress they won't try me.
That was In My White Tee.
Yep, In My White Tee. He know the vibes.
That was In My White Tee by IDK, not new artist, but relatively new artist. But what I love about that is verse, hook. Very structured, very simple. Beat allows you to do that, so that's very important. Radio ready, car ready, lounge ready. So,
yeah.
I think those.
One thing I was talking about in one of my other lives, I do a live with E1, and we just kind of like give a lot of constructive feedback to Unsigned Hype. And I was saying how it's important to find something to catch from a song. Like in this, it's in the hook. Yeah, In My White Tee. Give me something to remember. If I'm going to hear it for the first time, I need to walk away with something. So I think that's like kind of important in songwriting, if I'm not bugging.
No, I think you made a very valiant point, because now what happens is we correlate In My White Tee to them franchise boys, but now we're correlating it to not only them, but to him.
Yep.
And he's now bridging a gap, because the kid is not that old. He's not as old as my ass is. I'll tell you that much. But that's the bridge. You always look for the bridge with, these new artists.
And it makes you appreciate songs more. Because it that you hip.
And the fact that you went, as soon as you heard that what it was, you went right to it. You were like, nah, nigga, In My White Tee, this is what it is. I'm sorry with this fucking, this notification shit, but anyway, it bridges the gap, and it makes it more fun, and it makes it fun for the DJs if they can figure out a way to blend it. And it's more knowledge. It taps into the snap era that these kids don't know about. And for us older guys, it taps into these younger guys that we may not know about. And IDK represents that. And, In My White Tee is out right now. You can stream it wherever you want. But that's my third selection of the day. Cool.
Sounds good. So, I got to go on my Brooklyn bag real quick.
All right. I know.
We have a new release.
Okay.
Is a project, and I'm playing one of the leading singles. That's my pick today from Brooklyn Zone 22Gs. If you didn't know, the Brooklyn drill rap scene is like really flooding the music scene.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, and I think we'll get into. The surprise is 22Gs is joining us today.
Oh, okay. I thought you was trying to get at something. I was waiting for you to drop the cat out the bag, but all right.
Yeah, he's coming.
Okay.
And soon. But first, I want to get into this record called No Questions.
Okay.
And I woke up feeling extra gangster because I'm listening to this and I'm like doing my makeup and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to beat up Low.
You did shout out Brooklyn pretty early, so I knew you.
Yeah, you already know I was in my bag.
You was on your bullshit today.
But this track is called No Questions.
Okay.
Off his new project, Growth and Development. Let's get into it right here.
All right.
And you know, with that drill, it takes like a nice beat. We hear.
Yeah, they're always good with intros. Right.
Y'all niggas know I'm on the range. Check my back shit, nigga. That's what happened to the last nigga that played. Like, word to my mother, nigga. That's what you're talking. Mid down, mid down. Don't test us. Have my youngin' take his necklace. Got a temper. Make a movie like Netflix. No effort. I'll leave a nigga breathless. Get reckless. Split the West in my preference. You soaking hot on the web, but two niggas catch him. Lacking. We gon' run down. We ain't gon' clap him. We gon' smack him. We know that you ain't about action. All of you niggas is actors. Gun fingers in the camera. They wonder how 22 lasted. Running and run out the back. Stick that boy up for the bracket. I heard that nigga was stacking. Look a nigga, he ain't section. They with the source like Budden. Jump out of pussy with mission. Baba trees, mop it off. She don't say nothing, she slap through and pop it off. She give me head, tall little back to the booty. Money, domino. Nigga, we see you, we trying. You blicky gon' sing like Lionel. Gang start tweaking the wall and they see a op nigga in fire. Don't test us. Have my youngin' take his necklace. Got a temper. Make a movie like Netflix. No effort. I'll leave a nigga breathless. Get reckless. Split the West in my preference. Don't test us. Have my youngin' take his necklace.
That's no questions.
That's it's very aggressive.
Come on. That's the theme of Brooklyn drill.
No, I know.
It's not a nice Brooklyn drill song.
That is very aggressive.
He's beating up everybody.
I don't know where that comes from. Why is it only Brooklyn? Like, it's like Queens is cool, and then the Bronx is like a third world country, and then fucking Harlem is smooth and flashy and fly. And then here comes fucking Brooklyn, just angry for no apparent. What are y'all upset about?
True. First of all, Brooklyn tops charm. We are charming. And
no, y'all. You know what you're confusing that with?
Biggie.
You're scammy. That's what you are. You're not charmy. You're scammy. And being a scammer is conducive with being charming. So I don't want to hear that shit. So we're clear.
Yo, honestly, charm is the best human trait to have.
No, it is. It is.
Which makes a Brooklynite one of the top, elitists in the hierarchy.
I don't get it. You guys, you come off like, for instance, you come off so sweet, pure, innocent, and just just so authentic. And then we get you in a certain situation that's like a 180. Like, who is this person? That's how Brooklyn people are to me.
You know what I love about Brooklyn girls?
Yeah. 22's here. Now, speaking of Brooklyn, Ivy, we were just having this great conversation about Brooklyn.
Yes.
And you were just telling me that you had a special guest appearing on today's episode of the Roundup, where we review new music from hip hop and R&B artists. And it just so happens we have
22 G's.
22 G's in the building.
Bro, what's the word?
22. This is the Roundup. We talk about new music, new artists. You're fresh on the scene. We're gonna get into all your new stuff. And but first, I want to know, how the hell are you doing during this quarantine situation, my nigga?
I'm good. Staying safe. I'm trying to stay inside, stay in the crib.
Yeah.
So you still got your beads intact? Oh, you lit.
Yeah, I had to shout out to my niece. She be doing her thing with the beads and all that. So.
All right.
I was worried. Yo, you got Growth and Development out right now. Just dropped at midnight. And you got Brooklyn twirling right now. Tell me what you feeling. What's going on?
Shit is lit. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to the whole Brooklyn drill movement. Shout out to Ghosty. All AXL, all the UK producers. Shout out to all the Brooklyn artists. Shit, we working. Atlantic. Shout out to my managers. Shout out to Ivy, REVOLT. It's lit. We here, gang.
So 22, talk to me about how does this project feel in regards of is the stress off your back? Was there a burden? Was there pressure? Or was this just fun you making music for the city of Brooklyn?
Yeah, it was just me dropping that old heat that they wanted to hear.
Yeah.
This is like the old 2 they wanted to hear, so I just gave the streets what they wanted, type of vibe. But I was on a get back too. I had to get back to the old me. So yeah, I feel like the old me again. It's lit.
So wait, what do you? Okay, so give me a little bit more context. Why do you feel now like the old you? Was something going on in regards to your creative music, or you know?
Yeah, because I feel more comfortable doing the drill music now.
Okay.
And the drill music taking off now, so it's like it's lit for me.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And speaking of drill music, you know, there's always these. There's a thing with every category in life where people are the first to do this and the first to do that, and there's just been so many conversations. Like 22 G's is one of the first Brooklyn drill rappers to really put that on the scene. Where do you think, or what's your like mind state when that conversation comes up and you saying how you had to bring that back? Like, where was it lost in translation?
Of course, I mean, you had Bobby Shmurda, SP&B Bills before my time, but then it died. Everything kind of died out, and then it was a new era, and then it was the Bambino, you feel me, that type of way, and it was like I did they did drill kind of drill music, but it was leaning more to like on the Chicago side more. I did the UK beat with the so it's like
the grind with the Brooklyn sauce.
Yeah, so that's the Brooklyn drill. Facts,
right.
I
like that. I like
and
that.
You know, obviously you being one of those guys that's leading the movement, especially from Brooklyn, and this sound is really taking, you know, the industry by storm, you know, not just hip hop, just music in general. Has anyone like reached out to you, like, you know, any other artists, older artists, you know, more, you know, have they reached out to you about your music, or, you know, giving you props and celebration of, you know, what's going on with the whole drill movement?
Yeah. I mean, lots of artists show love. You feel me? You know, it's kind of biased, but it is what it is. I'm working over here. You feel me? Yeah. Shout out to artists on Wabi and Amir, Offset.
Nice.
Kivo Money. It's a whole lot. I can't even, like, you feel me?
Yeah.
A whole lot of artists. Free Kodak, Jack Boy, Casanova.
Nice. It seems like you're pretty happy, man. You know, obviously we're in some different times right now.
Shout out to Roddy too. Roddy show love too.
Yeah, Roddy, that's the guy.
Me too. Show love.
What are you doing aside from the music?
Yeah.
What are you doing on a daily basis? Do you have a workout regimen? Are you reading? You know, video games? What do you do to pass the time to not go crazy?
I be getting high.
Reading.
Reading. I ain't reading.
I don't know. You know, sometimes you might be.
That's to say I ain't reading. Nah, shit. I be just chilling. I be vibing.
Yeah.
Just trying to stay out of trouble, basically. Staying in the crib, staying out the way.
That's good, man. That's good. You seem pretty happy. You seem pretty good. It's a celebration today for your new project, brother. Everybody's in the house, so they have no choice but to listen. So plug that joint right there one more time, man.
Growth and Development out now on all platforms. Make sure y'all go stream that shit, please. I love y'all.
You're ready. I wanna get into this conversation about feeling underrated, because I think that I feel like because I know you and we started working together, I have a different opinion. But before working with you, you know, there was like this idea that 22 G's is like one of the most underrated Brooklyn drill rappers, and I feel like you have like a bit of a chip on your shoulder when it comes to that. And this is like your statement. Like, I don't know why, you know. Tell me more about that.
I mean, it's kind of biased in New York City. You know, the people's kind of lean on one side, so it's kind of like they act like they don't see what's going on. But I guess I got to keep working. I guess I got to make them hits so they can't deny.
Yeah, and I see you talk a lot. You talk a lot about it in your project too, where learning or careers. You kind of like touch on it, where it's like, you know, y'all out here styling, but I'm the one who really
started it. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started it. But it's so good. I ain't stressing it, but yeah, I just feel like I deserve my credit for a lot of stuff, a lot of the things in the Brooklyn drill wave. So that's why I had to talk my shit.
22. Let me ask you. This is always an interesting question for new artists. On this project, is there a song that can represent who you are? Like if someone didn't know who you were, if someone wasn't familiar with your music, what song would be the choice that you say, you know what, listen to this, and then you'll understand who I am?
No questions. It had to be no questions. That's just facts, right?
All you need to know is act up. You could get smashed off.
That's what me and Ivy was talking about before you hopped on. We was listening to No Questions, and I'm like, bro, this is a pretty aggressive ass record right here. Like,
it was supposed to be a party vibe, but I guess that's the Brooklyn party vibe.
Yeah, that's the Brooklyn party vibe. that ain't the regular America party vibe. But yeah, that and I get it. It's no detriment to who you are, the artist in the borough of Brooklyn, because that's your tone, and that's what we love about Brooklyn. Yeah, I mean, we know
Brooklyn is Brooklyn on time and 24/7, son.
Yeah, like y'all on that type of time where it's like, all right, we're not doing that. But that record is tough.
Niggas wake up outside with crust in y'all fighting, son. It's crazy out here. Living in my city is crazy. You gotta always have your kicks on.
And it looks like you did a pretty good job of staying safe and surviving and making a name for yourself. So that's one thing that Brooklyn produced, a smart, ambitious, authentic, young black king. So I respect that.
I appreciate it.
That's love, man. That's love.
What's the first thing you're gonna do once this quarantine is over?
We gotta go to the club, son. We gotta go to the club.
Outside.
Oh, you know.
One time for the one time.
One time for the one time. We outside.
Oh my God.
He ready to go, bro. He ready to go.
I'm ready to go down. Word. I might take a trip to one of the states that's not quarantined.
I feel it. But thank you so much, Tutu, for joining us on the Roundup. Growth and Development is out right now. Stream it up.
Yeah. Hey, man, be safe. Be safe out there, man. Good luck. Future. Hope we can have you back when another new project drops. But, you're doing it for the borough of Brooklyn. And stay safe, stay healthy, so we can get you back outside, back in these clubs, and back on those stages for these tours and everything. So congratulations. Be safe. And we love you over here at Revolt, baby.
Good luck. Shout out to Revolt. Ivy, good looks, man.
Good
looks,
bro.
My man.
Mata. Later, y'all.
All right.
Dog. You know what I love about like rappers like 22 G's? Is that when you get to know them, they're like the sweetest thing.
and that's what I was learning from him. Like, he's a quiet kid. I like that he said, I want to stay out the way.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he said, I want to stay out of trouble. But he knows what type of time Brooklyn is on. So you gotta, of
course, we
know that. But it seems like he has his head on straight. It seems like he just wants to make his music, provide for his family, represent for his city. So that's, I gotta respect and admire his ambition and hustle. New project, Growth and Development, is out on all streaming platforms. We ran No Questions earlier today, so be on the lookout for more 22 G's content and more collaborations. But I'm sure, like he said, Roddy Ricch, Offset, Meek, and everybody's checking for him. So.
Yep, absolutely. And just like a brief mention, like the title of his project is kind of very representative of his state of mind right now. He's growing into the artist that he's always envisioned, and that's always such a gamble when you still are in the same environment that you grew up in. You know what I'm saying? To a lot of people who grew up in neighborhoods where all there is gangs and violence, and you don't really know how to balance how to be an artist and still stay true to you. That's real science to learn. Like, a lot of people don't know how to get out of that headspace.
I mean, and it goes with the surroundings you have with your friends, the family, the ops, as the kids say. Like, a lot of those things play a huge component into, do you stick to your normal regular self, or do you try to evolve you know, personally, professionally, spiritually, mentally. So it's a lot going on with these young guys, and you have social media that influences them 24/7. You feel what I'm saying? So for him to have such a nice, you know, grand gesture of a title of growth and development, you can see the direction he would like to go in. Yep. And hopefully he can stay on that path of growing and developing, just not his music, but just like I said, personally, you know, spiritually and mentally, because, you know, mental health as a young black man in America is, it's not no easy feat. I'll just leave it at that.
Exactly. And they'll like be quick to like, you know, put 22 G's as like the poster child.
Yeah.
You know, these type of like stereotypes.
Yeah.
So it's good that like he's using his odd man out or like stereotypical image to kind of like twist the narrative.
Yeah, flip the script, you know. So as he gets older, I'm sure his content will evolve. But I like what I hear right now, and you know, I'm a fan of the young boy, so you know.
Absolutely.
Root for 22.
But you know what time it is now?
What time is it, Ivy?
For the Unsigned Hype contest.
Oh, let's see.
I don't know if it's a contest, but we choosing.
It's not a contest.
What is it? It's a segment. There it is.
This part of the show is when we take a nugget from the bag of unsigned talent that we are sent daily, and we broadcast it to you guys, and hopefully you guys will like it. Today, Ivy has been going first, so we're going to continue that.
Great.
That system, and let her take it away.
Sounds good. So one thing I want to mention, when you submit your music, I feel like we talked about this the last show.
Yeah, I'm sure we have.
I don't think it's clicking. When you send your music, we would like to know who you are, where you're from. Like, we get a lot of emails with just a link, and we have no reference, right? And I was looking through the emails that we received, and it's this one song that I picked out, and I'm gonna still play it just because it's something about the record that drew me to it. Right. And I tried to look up the artist, and I cannot find him anywhere. That's not his show. But the person who sent it was a DJ, and I found the DJs at DJ D's or D.
DJ D's or Deezy.
He's nuts.
I know. I knew you were going there. As soon as I heard D's, I'm like, please don't do it. Please don't do it. And she did it.
Great DJ name.
I knew you was going to do it, bro. I knew it.
If you have a sense of humor, I mean, it's awesome.
No, of course.
And it's by an artist named Big Hebrew.
Big Hebrew.
Don't know much. But
are they from Brooklyn? Because there's a lot of...
We don't know.
Okay.
We don't know. I tried to look up Big Hebrew on Instagram. Couldn't find him. Wow. So I don't know if he's just like working with the DJ. I don't know.
Let's give a guideline before you go into it. Here's the 3 guidelines.
Yes.
We want the artist's name. We would like the city and state the artist is from. And we would like the social handle of said artist. Not management company, not handler, not the PR. We want the social media of said artist so we can go to their page, promote them from the Revolt page, and let them know that their music is going to be played. So we need those 3 things, please. If you guys are watching, give us those 3 things. Artist name, city and state, and artist handle, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, or whatever. Just give us somewhere to contact you.
Yep. And on top of that, it just shows that, like, you're really about your business. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you submit your music for opportunity to, you know, get played by people like myself and Lowkey, we want to trace the reference. You know what I'm saying? If you just send a link, it's like, oh, well, if they play it, they play it.
Right.
It's not going to encourage us to want to play it either.
That's like, that's not how we're supposed to do things. Like, that's like shooting a shot with a DM and saying, like, yo, if she answered. No, nigga. Yo. Like, hey, what's good? I saw your tweets. I think you're fun. Give us detail. Give us something that we can go off of so we can have a point of reference.
Yes.
But I don't want to talk too long, but that we need those 3 things so we can make sure you're a star on this.
Yep, 1,000%. So this is Big Hebrew.
Okay.
With the city. And I chose this song just because I kind of like what he was talking about. I like his flow. I think it's giving me like some Dallas, Texas type of vibe. And I think that's where the DJ is from what I was observing. So let's play it and, you know.
We'll see where we can get
into it. Yeah.
Yeah, steady fam. You know what I'm saying? I'm on a whole nother vibe with this shit. Shout out Lil CJ, Lil C, that's my brother, Lil Rich. You know what I'm saying? Long Little One, Tip Depot, Tip Ferg, you know what I'm saying? Full peas. Vibe for real. That's right. I keep my head high with my money low. I kill a nigga and they won't never know. Like a attention little nigga, I don't never tone the time. Make some noise, no bullet spot. No, a little fuck nigga, I chill, knock me off. Shoot a little nigga in the city, not call it thoughts. All of these niggas, they mad cause I'm tripping song. I go to war with the city, can't take it out. I go to war with the city, I go to war with the city. I go to war with the city. I go to war with the city, can't take it out. I go to war with the city. I go to war with the city. Hey. I go to war with the city, can't take a law. All of these niggas and bitches, they swear they bought every time they go shot, they gotta add the car. Every time I want some nigga, I'm cashing out. Little nigga try to come take some, we crashing out. I got Lil Shoney, he flashing out. One of you niggas gon' play and we tripping out. All of my chopper, old hundreds and 50. Now tell her legit, gotta get mama out. Gotta get rich so I can get her out. All like the flick of these niggas, they taking shit. Think I'm on one, little nigga, you raping shit. You nigga lame, man, you nigga counterfeit. Blessing your money for holders, he really man. Spending your black and on hanging out shit, bitch. Screaming your game, but you know that it's fitted fine. Screaming your game, but you know that it's fitted fine. Screaming your game, but you know that it's fitted fine. For life. I keep my head high with my money low. I kill a nigga and they won't never know. Like a attention little nigga, I don't never tone the time. Make some noise, no bullet spot. No, a little fuck nigga, I chill, knock me off. Shoot a little nigga in his head and I call it thoughts. All of these niggas, they mad cause I'm tripping song. I go to war with the city, can't take a law. I go to war with the city.
I'm sorry. I really like this record. I see a lot of potential in this. If he does it over with the right tools, I see flow. I like what he's saying.
I like what he's saying. However, that man has the best birth control, the best breath control ever.
Oh, I'm like,
I'm sorry. No, he has the best breath control. Like, it literally sounds like he did not stop the entire song.
Mm-hmm.
And as music connoisseurs and hip hop connoisseurs, we're kind of used to that. Mm-hmm. As someone who, you know, we have a lot of outsiders in the culture and they come in and they listen to songs and this and the third. They may not understand that and how important that is. Mm-hmm. But I do notice his breath control is insane.
Yep.
Like, and I think the only detrimental part to that is me knowing how hip hop is and how songs are. I think there has to be a clear, concise distinction of where the hook and the verses. Yeah. That's the only thing that I can maybe even nitpick at with this selection.
Yeah.
But outside of that, that shit was fire.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I keep my head high with my money low.
Heard
that
shit was fire.
Shouts a Big Hebrew. We'll find you one day.
We're gonna find you.
We're gonna find you
because we like you. We want more from you.
We want to see more.
All right. So my selection comes from, his name is Sparks. Sparks is from Yonkers, New York, and this is an unreleased song that he's about to put out later this month, and he's doing a video with it as well. We don't have a social media. We don't have a project that he's dropping. We just have Yonkers, the song Shots, and it's coming out in April with a video, and this is the final edit that he sent me. So
it's better than Anonymous Hebrew.
So here's Shots by Sparks.
Yeah, I need a little sip. Yeah, I need another drink. We should take a little dip. We should take a little trip. It don't matter where you go. It don't matter where you been. I'm just driving on the road. Now I'm really sick. More liquor that we pull for the people that we miss. Try to keep it at the park, but we caught up in the hits. I can make a better swing. That's the easiest to pitch. I got ice up in my veins. Don't need ice up on my wrist. I don't think I got a problem when I'm down up in the fifth. I'm the man and legend. In between it is a myth. My God, count my blessings. That's the reason why we in. Might not get the message, but I think you got the gist. Some people get exposed, others pose for the pick. Now we gotta rock and roll, catch an alley at the rim. My name and lights in the valley that I live. In order to reach the heights, and something just gotta give. Yeah, I need a little sip. Yeah, I need another drink. We should take a little dip. We should take a little trip. It don't matter where you go. It don't matter where you been. I'm just driving on the road. Now I'm really sick of it. Yeah, I need a little sip. Yeah, I need another drink. We should take a little dip. We should take a little trip. It don't matter where you go. It don't matter where you been. I'm just driving on the road. Now I'm really sick of it. I care about people signing me. Don't play no hide and seek. A missile to your dome will probably take apart your tiny things. Maybe that will have you appreciating the finer things. I'm chained to my pressure, and my pleasure is a diamond ring. I come a dime a dozen. I'm like the new 100. See, they don't really keep it real. They just move subject. I knew I had more class in the room, loved it. Now a shorty pass the ass for a dope substance. Everybody getting sauce, bounce it out to the hash. Everybody getting tossed. Had enough to get by. Now I'm coming as a boss. That's a 5-sack fly. I'm just living with the cost. Yeah, I need a little.
That is my selection. Sparks from Yonkers. His single is called Shots, and like Ivy, like I always tell you, it's songs that I can relate to, in that kind of put me in a zone of experience that I always resonate with. And the things he was talking about, just when you're drinking, you think about these things, and these like casual conversations you have with yourself in your head. This is music that you can drive to. Lounge music and radio ready. Distinctive chorus, distinctive verse, not too overbearing. Production was subtle as can be, but I think this is a song that could slowly be a
right. It's another one where we see the potential.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad. I think it was a very straight to the point song where you could just be like, go down the checklist and be like, all right, this is good, this is good, this is good. And we good. It's a solid record. Sparks from Yonkers.
Sparks from Yonkers.
Shout out to you.
Sparks from Yonkers. I think you got me on my last song. I didn't get to play my last song.
Play your last song. We were just so excited about Brooklyn.
No, Brooklyn. And I want people to understand I love Brooklyn. I don't have a problem with Brooklyn. Okay, because when I come back outside, I want to be able to come back outside.
You can't go to Brooklyn.
Like, I just want to say that Brooklyn is near and dear to my heart, but you guys are just very, very fucking aggressive.
It's funny that, you could say all of that, but it doesn't matter.
At all. It would not matter at all. Brooklyn niggas hear one thing. When they hear one thing, that's it. It's literally, that's the whole thing.
Oh, man. All right, let's play your last song.
My last song before I go back outside and disappear from Brooklyn.
Oh my God.
Drake was on OVO Mark. He's part of OVO Sound. They do their like the after parties during Drake's tour or whatever.
Okay.
Obviously, everybody's quarantined, so Mark did his Instagram live, I believe, Tuesday night, and Drake was, sitting next to him while he was DJing and was playing a lot of unreleased records. So we had a record from Fabio Foreign and Drake. We had a record from Popcaan and Drake, and we had a record from what's the nigga's name? Cardi.
Playboy Cardi?
Playboy Cardi. I always fucking forget his name. Playboy Cardi. So he had 3 unreleased records from them. And then he had unreleased verses from the Views project. And then he played this other song called Rollin'.
I missed that whole thing.
So I'm going to give you a little exclusive right here. Friend of mine who has me tapped in with, some of the Drake leaks, sent me an actual full version of one of the records he played on Tuesday night. Long story short, Drake and OVO Mark were on their IG Live, I believe Tuesday night. They played 3 new records from Pop Smoke, not Pop Smoke, Fabio Foreign, rest in peace Pop Smoke, Fabio Foreign, Popcaan, and Playboy Cardi. And they played another record, a solo record from Drake that was insane. And I just happened to get my hands on it from a connect in the industry that sent me the record. Please don't kill me. I'm not going to shout you out. Nice little exclusive. This record is this record is called Roll. And Drake is rapping. It's not no Tootsie Slide bullshit. It's not no R&B singing. This is Drake literally rapping. So we call this Rolling, a Revolt exclusive right here on the Roundup. Let me know what you think.
I gotta set my game up. I need some Drake exclusive.
For my nigga Look, dressed in fatigues, I read the east with my trustees, smoking on crushed leaves. They turn their back on everything we built and they must bleed. I've seen splatter hit the snow and the blood freeze. Scraps over territory they know we must keep. Get home and white Air Forces get brushed clean. Back when my mama would interrupt sleep to tell me hurry up as the bus leaves. Summertime heat waves, I used to just cut sleeves. My shorty really love me, man, she want me to cut keys. I can't do that normal type of life, is it just me? Niggas steady try to ride the wave, but it's rough seas. I'm losing enough sleep, dealing with envy, and the news that they sent for me got the block in a frenzy. It's on each like it's trendy, running around from Laurier to McKenzie when the city's empty. Yeah, early 20s, but I want 50s, hundreds, not pennies. I need plenty, got me ready to flip the F out like Fendi. Whatever's in me, it's taking over. I gotta bust it down, break it open, until somebody starts taking notice. Yeah, we rolling. Yeah, yeah, we rolling. Yeah, we rolling. Deep pockets on a nigga, I can't find my phone in. Now we rolling. Yeah, yeah, we rolling. Yeah, we rolling. Deep pockets on a nigga, I can't find my phone in. Now we rolling. Look.
All right, nice little.
And I love Drake. I'ma just admit it, cause I tried so hard not to like him. I tried so hard not to like Drake. I don't think I'm the only one either.
Oh, nigga,
because
I'm right there with you.
God, you can't deny it.
One thing that I love about Drake is he's not oblivious to what people say about him and how they feel about him. Mm-hmm. And I think one of his key factors of being such a prolific artist is that he taps into a lot of that. And not just like through social media, where he does a good job at it as well, but through the music. Mm-hmm. He knows how to speak to the people that don't like him. And that's a very, very specific skill set as an artist to have, because sometimes it can sound like you're lashing out, sometimes it can sound like you're bitter, sometimes it can sound like you're arrogant. He has a very specific narrative when he's talking to people that despise him. And I really, really appreciate that, because that takes a very specific skill and a very, very huge amount of patience. And he can do that to the T. And he's just a smart motherfucker. Like, the guy is just smart as hell. Like
undeniable. Like,
undeniably smart. You look at the entire last week rollout. The Sun, the Tootsie Side preview, the Tootsie Side single, and then the magazine cover touring his house.
Which was crazy.
Which is insane. That's a whole nother conversation. But that rollout, that just 7-day rollout of content, of conversation that people continuously had on different fronts of his career, whether it was family, music video, and then now it's his embassy. Yeah. That's in a week's time.
I don't even know where to start when it comes to Drake.
Yeah.
Honestly, truly. Yeah. But I would say that with him, or just like artists in general, I was having this conversation the other day, like, we all pick and choose when to like use their personal life as the thing that really just like ruins the painting.
Yeah.
But I choose to not include his personal, because I think Drake, and I'm sorry if you hear. Honestly, I'm gonna just shut up because I be thinking that nobody's gonna listen to this, and then they'll hear it and hold on. So I'm just gonna shut up. You're great. And if you're reading This Is Too Late is my favorite project, front to back.
No. You know what? I'm gonna hold you to task. No. We're not gonna do this. This is not why we are here. Okay? No. You're gonna say what you're gonna say. No. I'm not gonna do this, Ivy. I'm gonna hold you to task. I want you to say in a respectful manner what you had to say about Drake. No, we can do negative and positive. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think that with Drake being as smart as he is, I think it's a human thing to sometimes make irrational decisions, and a lot of the decisions that he's made in the past has kind of clouded my vision as to why I would like vouch for him. It was just something about Drake that made me just like not like him or like deny the fact that I did. And now I'm trying to figure out beyond his artistry, like what is it about him that makes me like I don't know what it is. I don't know how to word it, so I'm not going to say it.
But that's my point. I think if I'm collecting what you're saying properly, I think he has a great way of talking to people like you, right? He has a very specific way, and like I said, it's not arrogant, it's not condescending. It's just enough to intrigue you. Like, why is he talking to me? Like, why does he feel like he needs to talk to me? He doesn't talk. I mean, he doesn't necessarily really talk to his fans. He talks a lot to the people that don't fuck with him.
It's very, I'm making you hate me more.
Right. And then that sometimes, as odd as it seems, turns the tide of the person that does not like him.
Yep.
Because I can attest to that. There has been times where I'm just like, this guy? This is the guy?
Yeah.
And then I hear the music and I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. So I love his music. I like to wait till I meet the person. And I think that's what it is. I haven't like been in his like orbit.
Yeah.
To, close the book and say like, this is why I don't like really like him. I don't know what his energy is like. Cause there's a lot of people who portray to be one thing and they're like a whole nother. So I think that was probably my thing where it's like, are you trying to be like this?
Yeah.
Really like that? So I'm still trying to figure it out.
I think, and to close it off, him and Joe Budden are very cool. And Joe had an Instagram Live, I think, earlier in the week, and Drake is always on Joe's shit. So one night, it was like a bunch of us in there, like the whole Duce Palooza crew, like him and Rory, whatever the case is. They were going back and forth like the entire night, just cracking jokes on each other.
Right.
And I had said something. No, Joe had called me during the time while Drake was in there, and Drake started cracking on me. That let me know that, one, the kid has a sense of humor, because I'm always on Drake's neck when I critique his music and whatever he's doing. So, and I know he knows, he sees it. But that let me know that he has a very, very good sense of humor. He's a good sport about all the critiques. And Rory was really just like giving him the business, just joking on him, calling him just all types of names. That's one thing I can admire about Drake. Of all the things that have happened to him in his career, whether it be the Baby, the Pusha T shit, the Kanye West stuff, him and his little back and forth with Hov, a lot of these things could really kill a person's career and confidence. And I think Drake has figured out the science of how to keep coming up for air.
Yeah.
Whatever the case is. So I do respect that about him, his resilience to keep a calm demeanor. Whether it looks corny or whether it's not, that's what I can respect about him. So, shout out to Drake. And that's it. But I wanted you to say.
I don't like him is the reason that I like him, and it's because he's such a fucking mystery.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Being a mystery is awesome.
Yeah. This is the roundup. Another great
It's
show.
better and better.
It does, and I feel like we're coming into a beautiful groove. The music choices are phenomenal. The conversation is getting better and better. The guests are getting better and better. Shout out to 22 G's, Growth and Development on all streaming platforms.
Yep.
Again, submit. Let me make sure I get this email right.
Submit your music at revolt.tv.
There it is. There it is. Submit
right now. Wham.
Submit your music at revolt.tv. The roundup hosted by Ivy Rivera and myself, Lowkey, where we review new music, hip hop and R&B that drops every Friday. And as we quarantine, we get new music, we talk our shit, and we have some fun. No harm, no foul.
Yep. And outside of Tory Lanez Quarantine Radio, this is the best thing on Instagram. Bam.
Hey, and also before we leave, Brooklyn, I love you. I just want.
Yo.
I love you guys.
We love you too. I'll see you later.
Same time, same place next week.
You're ready.
All right.